I got lots of music going on. All right. Okay, great. Let's get this set up because we're starting the show early today. Got a couple items to do here with the AV. 1 second. Okay. Let me share my screen, see if this works. All right, great. Okay, so that's going to work. That's coming up in just 2 minutes. So real quick, Overstock, pick of the day, probably. We'll go through the list, the pre-market prep right after the Overstock CC, or maybe, if that's kind of dying out, we'll start the pre-market prep maybe right at 9 a.m. when we usually do, okay? But yeah, Overstock merging or buying Bed Bath & Beyond brand, changing their name to Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't think anyone expected that coming out of left field. I think that's very bullish and that this could send the stock into the 30s, but let's see what they say. Let's see what they say starting here in just 1 minute, and then we'll get the rest of this list. I mean, we've been killing it the last few days with really, really accurate predictions, so we've been having a lot of fun. But let's turn it over to the music and the live stream at Overstock right now. And if anyone can just confirm if you hear the audio, that'll be great. Oh, no one hears the audio? Hold on. Should be working. Just started. You guys can hear. All right, let me remove this and start again. 1 second.
Shemnani,
How about that? Can
Head
you
of
guys hear that
Investor
now?
Relations. Please go ahead.
All right, great.
Thank you, operator. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our conference call today to discuss our acquisition of the Bed Bath & Beyond brand and other intellectual property. Joining me on the call today are CEO Jonathan Johnson and CFO Adrian Lee. President Dave Nielsen will be available for Q&A. A slide presentation accompanying today's webcast has been posted to our investor relations website and is available to download. Next slide, please. Please review the important forward-looking statements disclosure on slide 2 of today's presentation. The following discussion and our responses to your questions reflect management's views as of today, June 29, 2023, and may include forward-looking statements. Actual results could differ materially from such statements. Additional information about factors that could potentially impact our financial results is included in our Form 10-K for the year ended December 31st, 2022, and in our subsequent filings with the SEC. Following management's prepared remarks, we will open the call for questions. As a reminder, and as indicated in our press release, we will not be providing additional details or taking any questions related to the second quarter 2023 preliminary performance update. Next slide, please. During today's call, we'll follow the agenda on slide 3. With that, let me turn the call over to our CEO, Jonathan Johnson.
Thank you, Lavesh, and good morning, everyone. I appreciate you joining us on short notice. This is an exciting and pivotal moment for our company. As you read in our press release yesterday, we purchased the Bed Bath & Beyond brand and other intellectual property. In a few minutes, Adrian will explain what we bought and what we didn't. Bed Bath & Beyond is an iconic brand with high consumer awareness and strong brand loyalty in the home space. We believe that this well-known and much-loved brand, coupled with our unique asset-light operating model, will help us accelerate our efforts to gain market share in the U.S. and Canada. As I've shared before, we look for M&A opportunities that have the potential to enable us to increase our association with home while maintaining our differentiated asset-light business model. This transaction does exactly that. We were able to take advantage of this opportunity due to our strong balance sheet, which had nearly $375 million in cash at the end of the first quarter of 2023. Because we have been purposeful in maintaining a healthy balance sheet, we had and continue to have the flexibility to seize opportunities to invest for future growth, even as the near to medium-term landscape in home-related purchases is expected to remain weak. I note that in the first half of 2023, we have invested over $30 million in value-creating initiatives for our shareholders. The $10 million follow-on investment in Grain Chain we made during Q1 2023, and now this important acquisition. Our investment thesis is unique and differentiated. We have multiple ways to create shareholder value. I am more optimistic about our future than I have ever been. Before I discuss our rationale for this deal and our vision of how we plan to use the newly acquired Bed Bath & Beyond brand and other assets, Adrian will discuss the transaction details.
Thank you, Jonathan, and good morning, everyone. I am excited about the growth potential that this acquisition brings for us. We have the opportunity to gain market share with the potential to acquire millions of new customers. As noted in our press release, we acquired the Bed Bath & Beyond brand and other intellectual property for $21.5 million. We acquired these assets under a bankruptcy court-supervised process. The intellectual property we acquired includes customer lists, including loyalty program participation and rewards details, website domain names held by the Bed Bath & Beyond banner in the United States and Canada, including access to its mobile applications, vendor lists and SKU level information, and trademarks and other product-related brand names held by Bed Bath & Beyond, including all private label trademarks. Further details are available in the asset purchase agreement we filed with the SEC. Our transaction excludes physical assets like stores, warehouses, and product inventory. We will continue to operate an asset-light business model. The transaction also excludes intellectual property associated with the Bye Bye Baby and Harmon banners that had been operated by Bed Bath & Beyond. With our strong balance sheet, we funded the acquisition entirely with cash on hand. I will now hand the call back to Jonathan to discuss our strategic rationale.
Thank you, Adrian. As an organization, we have maintained focus on controlling factors within our control, even as the macro environment remained unstable and consumer sentiment in our category has been weak. Our expense discipline allowed us to be ready for opportunities like this one. We know we have the right go-to-market strategy and the right operating model. Now we have access to an iconic consumer brand, a brand strongly associated with the home category to accelerate growth. While a lot has been written and said about the Bed Bath & Beyond operations prior to its bankruptcy, the brand remains strong among consumers. I will share more on this shortly. Next slide. I can't count how many times I've been asked about the Overstock name, almost always with the question, why don't you change the company's name? We knew the Overstock name reflected our prior liquidation model and that it did not align with the type of products we now sell. We are not a liquidator, and we have not been one for 20 years. We offer quality, new, on-trend product at Smart Value. Since late 2019, we strategically began moving our business to the home category, completing that transition to 100% online retailer furniture and home furnishing products exactly 1 year ago. We expected our transition to 100% home would aid in increasing our brand association with home. That has proved more difficult than we thought. The Overstock name restricted our ability to be top of mind for consumer shopping for quality home products. For example, when new customers were attracted to the website due to the name Overstock, they were sometimes disappointed they didn't experience deep liquidation prices. Other customers still thought we were a general merchandise retailer. When other customers found us via search engine marketing and liked the product and the price they discovered, upon clicking through to the website, our name was a challenge to overcome, as some customers wondered if the product was aged or less than desirable because it was Overstock. Some suppliers remained reluctant to sell on what they perceived to be a liquidation site. In short, our Overstock name created a headwind with many customers and suppliers who did not associate our brand with quality home products. Thus, we have long looked for ways to rebrand, but wanted to do so in a way that wouldn't take years or cost hundreds of millions of dollars. We have long liked the Bed Bath & Beyond brand, but we're leery about its operating model. When the chance to buy the brand and other IP without all the stores and inventory arose, we saw it as a unique and value-creating opportunity. Associating a well-known and much-loved brand name in the home space like Bed Bath & Beyond with our asset-light business model should enable us to increase our ability to gain market share. Let me start with some facts about the Bed Bath & Beyond brand. In unaided brand awareness, Bed Bath & Beyond is ranked number 5 among the top 25 retailers in the category. This is based on a survey conducted over the last few months, suggesting that operational efficiencies at the company have not hurt the consumer perception of the Bed Bath & Beyond brand. That was important to us. Consumers are emotionally connected to the Bed Bath & Beyond brand. This is critical in building loyalty and something we will use to our advantage. The number of customers in Bed Bath & Beyond's Welcome Rewards loyalty program is in the high single-digit million range, a bigger number than Overstock's entire active customer base. Our opportunity is significant. Bed Bath & Beyond has more than 20 million active customers. This is over 4 times our current active customer base. Even if we remove in-store only customer, Bed Bath & Beyond's digital and omni-channel active customer base is more than double our customer base. And those customers accounted for over $1 billion in revenue last year. We have an opportunity to capture market share by bringing these customers to our platform with our. We are making progress, adding product assortment in key categories that appeal to the Bed Bath & Beyond customer. In terms of customer demographics, Overstock and Bed Bath & Beyond are well matched. The relative size of the Bed Bath & Beyond customer base will enable us to broaden our exposure among the younger demographic, something that has been a focus area for us as we try to grow our mobile app penetration, social marketing efforts, and our partnership with brand ambassadors. Now, regarding our business model, we have demonstrated that our 3 brand pillars, namely smart value, product findability, and easy delivery and support, and our asset-light business model works. Our smart value offering, underpinned by our strong price competitiveness, differentiates us in the marketplace. Like Bed Bath & Beyond, coupons resonate with our customers and drive sales. However, unlike Bed Bath & Beyond, our promotional strategy is strategic by channel. For example, mobile app and email, and by product categories. We are confident that we will be able to continue to offer smart value to a broader group of customers. We have a wider assortment of furniture and related products. Said differently, we can offer a bigger Beyond assortment to the Bed Bath & Beyond customers. While Bed Bath & Beyond was trying to achieve this with private labels, we already have a vast partner base to offer breadth and depth in the Beyond type product assortment. With our strategic shift to focus on the home category, our recognition among partners has been growing. We have access to a wider assortment and continue to onboard new partners. In fact, and this is exciting, we added more than 100,000 new SKUs in the single week when the news broke that we were selected as the stalking horse bidder in the bankruptcy proceeding. These new SKUs were across popular Bed Bath & Beyond categories. We knew, and this proved, that our Overstock name kept some partners from working with us. This transaction will change that. To summarize this slide in one line, the opportunity for Overstock is real and significant. Next slide. This slide will be familiar to everyone. We refer to this as our growth flywheel. It highlights key elements of our strategy. This transaction touches many of the elements on the flywheel and helps accelerate some of our work. As I referenced earlier, the Bed Bath & Beyond brand has high unaided brand awareness. This will enable us to increase our association with home. We have more than doubled our assortment of home SKUs since we embarked on our home-only strategy in early 2021. While we have continued to make strong progress in increasing home-related assortment on our website, taking on a well-known brand name is helping and will help us to attract additional supplier partners. The acquisition of Bed Bath & Beyond Canada intellectual property will give us access to a Canadian customer database in the low single-digit millions. This will greatly accelerate our efforts in Canada. I should note that our bedbathandbeyond.ca domain launched this morning.
Wow.
If you want to see what the site will look like, type that in and see how exciting and clean it looks for our customers. Our mobile app has a higher penetration of sales penetration than Bed Bath & Beyond's does. We expect to onboard Bed Bath & Beyond customers through this channel and convert them into loyal customers. As we have indicated in the past, our mobile app is the fastest growing channel and stacks up more favorably on customer metrics compared with the rest of our business. We've always been purposeful and strategic about sales and marketing expenditures. We hold ourselves accountable to return on advertising spend targets and ensure we don't overspend on marketing to the extent that spending becomes ineffective. We believe marketing our assortment under the iconic Bed Bath & Beyond brand better return on our marketing expenditures. As you can see, there are many compelling reasons which led us to pursue this transaction. The easy part is behind us, and the hard part is in front of us. We now must execute against our growth drivers and use this transaction to acquire new customers and accelerate top-line results. The team knows this is a unique opportunity for the company and its formalized plans to drive growth. Next slide. In this section, I will discuss our plans for integrating the intellectual property acquired in this transaction and share our longer-term plans. Next slide. Our intention is to create a single online shopping destination branded as Bed Bath & Beyond for tens of millions of consumers to purchase quality furniture and home furnishing products at smart value. We plan to integrate the Bed Bath & Beyond brand over 3 phases. We believe this phased approach is critical to successful execution. We want to be well positioned to capitalize on key events during the second half of this year and gain market share. We will be agile in our execution of this plan and adjust as needed to deliver the best outcome. I'll discuss each phase briefly. Phase 1, July. We've already gone live with the Bed Bath & Beyond domain in Canada. The existing Overstock domain will redirect traffic to this domain. Again, go and take a look at it. I'm really proud of our tech team and our operations team.
Wow.
For one day after closing.
Overstock.ca goes to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Through this initial launch in Canada, we will be able to iron out tactics and strategies for the U.S. to ensure we are successful when we go live with the Bed Bath & Beyond domain name in the U.S. We have already started onboarding assortment in key Bed Bath & Beyond categories. This will be a continued effort as we expand the breadth and depth of our home product offerings. During phase 1, we will also begin rebranding our Club O loyalty program as Welcome Rewards for launch in the U.S. The Welcome Reward loyalty program has been a successful program for Bed Bath & Beyond. We certainly want to leverage that. Phase 2, August and September. In early August, we will go live with the Bed Bath & Beyond domain in the U.S. We will also launch the Bed Bath & Beyond mobile app in iOS and Play Store. This launch will include a rollout of a refreshed Welcome Rewards loyalty program. Like our current Club O program, the newly branded Welcome Rewards program will continue to offer 5% rewards dollars for all purchases that can be fully redeemed in subsequent transactions. We will also add attractive benefits to welcome back former Welcome Rewards programs, including free membership for 1 year and exploring the opportunity to reactivate rewards dollars from their old accounts. We expect to incur additional marketing expenditures to promote our new Bed Bath & Beyond brand identity. We are working with excellent external advisors to help us craft messaging to retain our existing customers and attract the Bed Bath & Beyond and home customers across the marketplace. While the added marketing expense will create some pressure in the near term, we are being purposeful on this spend to be well positioned during key selling events such as the Labor Day weekend in September. Clear communication about our new brand is important to us as we shift to bigger events in Q4. Phase 3. The third phase will begin sometime during Q4 and continue into 2024 and beyond. We will continue to build assortment across our categories. This is critical to our strategies to complete and gain market share in the long term. After bringing the Bed Bath & Beyond domain live in Q3, we will begin to sunset the Overstock name across all customer-facing platforms. We intend to operate with a single brand name, Bed Bath & Beyond, in the future. We will also evaluate opportunities for future growth, including a registry business, trade and B2B sales, and explore alternatives around private label offerings under the various Bed Bath & Beyond brands. We are not looking to rush into these opportunities. The timing of these growth opportunities will depend on how quickly we can stabilize and grow our revenue following going live with the Bed Bath & Beyond domain in Canada and in the US. As we move along this phased journey, I need to acknowledge that you should expect a period of volatility in our P&L as we temporarily depart from our financial recipe card for a few quarters to maximize this unique customer acquisition and growth window. This may include lower average order values and margin rates owing to product mix, coupons, and discount offers. We also expect to incur higher marketing expenditures for the brand transition. While each of these metrics is difficult to predict or guide to in the near term, we will measure our success through growth in our home-only active customer base. At the end of Q1 2023, our home-only active customer base was approximately 4.8 million. We estimate that number will be slightly smaller at the end of Q2. We will leverage the iconic Bed Bath & Beyond name to attract new customers, reactivate prior customers, and retain customers. We will also drive incremental wallet share to grow our presence in the more than $400 billion total addressable market. Next slide. Before we take questions, I will wrap up today's presentation with a few comments addressed to 4 of our stakeholder groups. First, to our existing and prospective partner suppliers. We look forward to growing our relationship with you as we continue to provide an efficient and growing sales channel for your products. The Bed Bath & Beyond name will help us expand our business in the marketplace. We invite you to participate in this growth. Second, to our customers, to our loyal Overstock customers, our new name will not impact your shopping experience with us. We will continue to carry the great home assortment for which you know us. To Bed Bath & Beyond customers, welcome to the new Bed Bath & Beyond. You will be able to access the kitchen, bedding, and bath-related products that you have purchased over the years at Bed Bath & Beyond, along with the large and growing assortment at Overstock. We offer millions of home products at the best deals in the marketplace. You can now think of us as Bed, Bath, and a bigger and better Beyond. To our employees, you have improved that the Overstock business model works. You have enabled the company to deliver positive adjusted EBITDA for 3 consecutive years, quarter after quarter after quarter. Thank you. Your perseverance allowed us to play offense and take advantage.
It's like you're probably not going to start on time. I'd like to hear some of the Q&A.
To our shareholders.
Here we go, shareholders.
This is a significant and transformative step for Overstock.
Buy some stock.
We appreciate your support during this journey. We will continue to operate our differentiated asset-light business model. As we rebrand under a new name, we have an opportunity to capture market share and deliver additional operating leverage. I strongly believe that this investment, along with our recent follow-on investments in the Medici portfolio, will help deliver maximum long-term value to our shareholders. Now, operator, let's take some questions.
So I want to hang on and listen to some questions. Usually we start our pre-market show.
As a reminder, to ask a question, please press *11 on your telephone.
Usually we start our pre-market show at 9 a.m. to about 9:20 a.m. and go over the top stocks for the day.
Please
but
limit yourself
we're going
to
to
one
start that a
question
little
and
bit
one
later
follow-up
today.
and
I want to hear some of this Q&A.
Please stand by while we compile the Q&A roster.
Overstock will be the top of our list. Let me just show you this real quick. You can see that. We're going to get to that soon.
Ben Rabizadeh from Jefferies, your line is open.
Oh, great. Good morning, and congrats on the transaction. My first question is regarding a portion of the active file that you acquired. Over time, you'll be able to customers a much improved shopping experience. There is, though, likely a contingent of shoppers that were presumably turned off by the Bed Bath brand during its demise over the past couple of months due to, rampant out of stocks and canceled orders. Do you have a sense, maybe an internal estimate of the customer file that's resistant to engaging with the Bed Bath brand going forward?
Jonathan, thanks for the question. It's something that we looked at carefully as we examined this transaction. And as I noted in my prepared remarks, as we did an outside third-party survey of customers, it was clear to us that the Bed Bath & Beyond brand is still strong with customers. My experience is that mismanagement can kill companies, but doesn't kill brands. There are lots of brands that have gone through bankruptcy that remain strong and iconic today. The Bed Bath & Beyond brand, we think, will be such a brand. And, I'd also just note, when you think of the generic meanings of the term overstock and the headwind that's presented for us, and the generic meaning of Bed Bath & Beyond, and the tailwind that it will bring us, we really think engaging and even re-engaging with Bed Bath & Beyond customers is doable and something that we're primed to do. So I appreciate the question.
That's helpful. And then just a quick follow-up. There are precedent transactions where retailer IP has been bought out of bankruptcy processes similar to this one. As you mentioned, some of these have been successful, others not as much. So what are some of the pitfalls you've seen from prior deals, and how are you going to avoid those in this transaction? Thanks.
Jonathan, another good question, and something we thought a lot about. I think this deal is significantly different from deals where people buy IP and try and restart them. We have a strong and successful business with a great operating model. What we're really getting is a chance to rebrand without spending hundreds of millions of dollars and taking time to do it, by buying an iconic name and a deep and interesting customer list. So we're not really trying to reboot a bankrupt brand. We're trying to take a brand that's been through bankruptcy and still strong, and now apply it to a business model, our asset-light operating model, that works. So, I think we have looked at other deals to try and see what works, but I think this is a little different than most deals, because we're using this to remove some of our headwind on a great model and put tailwind behind it with this iconic brand.
That's really helpful. Thanks for the color and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. One moment for our next question.
We're seeing some action. Wall boxes
We have a
just put up
question
there.
from
We'll talk about that soon. Costco
Thomas
deal.
Forte with D.A. Davidson. Your line is open.
Great. So Jonathan, Adrian, Lavesh, congrats on the transaction. So one question, one follow-up. Jonathan, you gave a lot of metrics, but I was hoping you could potentially quantify the impact the Overstock brand name had in your historical sales. Is it fair to say that the brand name, for all the reasons you've identified, had a greater than negative 10% impact on your sales? And then when you think about pivoting to a brand maybe more associated with home, that's kind of the minimum threshold for incremental sales. So I was hoping you could frame it in sales. How much do you think the challenges of the Overstock brand impacted your sales, and what's the potential unlock there?
Great
Tom, great question. And as always, I love your quantitative mind. I appreciate it. That's a hard question to answer and put a number around. You know, in my prepared remarks, I talked about difficulties it's created for adding suppliers in our partner base. I just can't tell you how many times, you know, I've encouraged someone to shop at Overstock seconds, or, you know, people, and I think people even like you, Tom, who've said, what's up with this name? It's not who you are. So can't put a number on it, but I do think it's been real headwind. And I do expect and hope that this new name will become real tailwind for us. So hard to put a number, but we know it's real.
Excellent. All right. And then rather than make an assumption on my part, so after you have kind of this near-term situation where you spend on incremental marketing, has the transaction changed your long-term margin profile from a gross margin and EBITDA margin point of view?
Tom, long-term, the answer is no. Long-term, the answer is no. Short-term, we're going to have to see how AOV plays out as we lean more into bed and bath, which tends to be a little smaller basket size. We'll learn into the margins. We also expect to spend a little bit more on marketing in the next few quarters. You know, this is a unique opportunity to reach out to customers and re-engage them. And so short term, our recipe card, there'll be a little departing from it, but long term, the goal is to get back to the 22%-ish gross margins and mid-single digit adjusted EBITDA margins. We think this business can do that while taking and growing market share.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. One moment. We have a question from Steven Forbes from Guggenheim Securities. Your line is open.
Good morning. This is Renee Marin on for Steve Forbes. I want to start off with the sales breakdown of Bed Bath & Beyond. Can you please provide any color on the sales breakdown by category at Bed Bath & Beyond, and any additional color on how you think about the sales transfer opportunity? Thank you.
Renee, I appreciate the question. That's not information we're going to give for competitive reasons. I think it's important we hold that tight. Sorry to not be as forthcoming on that, but we think it would hurt us in the long run to share that.
Got it. And as my follow-up, can you discuss how you plan to lean into loyalty, and if we should expect any changes given the historical use of coupons at Bed Bath & Beyond?
So we know that coupons are a big part of who Bed Bath & Beyond has been. Coupons and site sales have also been a big part of who Overstock has been and is. So I think you can continue to expect the high-low. One thing I'll note is that even without coupons at Overstock, our smart value is really a great price. So while the Bed Bath & Beyond, given its pricing, was maybe a little bit bigger high-low, we don't think we'll need to coupon as much or as large over the long term. But I think as we reach out to these Bed Bath & Beyond customers initially, our couponing may be a little bit more robust so that it feels like a familiar place to them. I would also say that we really like the Welcome Rewards program. It has been, it's got a big active customer base. I think combining our Club O program and all of our Club O loyalty offerings will still be there, and we'll port the Welcome Rewards, but combining the best of both of those, Club O loyalty and Welcome Rewards loyalty, as we rebrand as Welcome Rewards is going to be very strong as far as where we go with loyalty. Dave, anything you'd add to that?
I think the frequency is really important there. I think when we think about the big events, the big home furnishings events, we will be right there as historical couponing events that Bed Bath & Beyond had seen. But I don't know that the frequency will be required because of what Jonathan mentioned.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question comes from Seth Sigman with Barclays. Your line is open.
Great, thanks. Hey, good morning, everybody. I get the branding and marketing opportunity. I guess I wanted to follow up on the opportunity. I think you said they were doing over $1 billion of online sales. Obviously, they were doing way more than that at the store level, which over time would be addressable as well as more of those sales go online. But I guess your earlier point around the assortment, I'm trying to figure out how much do we haircut that $1 billion plus in sales for categories that you may be exiting? Like, what is actually addressable here? Maybe we could just start there. Thanks.
There are certainly categories, Seth, that don't fit online, that are more for brick and mortar, the smaller product. There are certain categories that Bed Bath & Beyond was selling at its brick and mortars that we won't sell. Think Tide Pods, things in that last little serpentine to the cash register. But we think there is a lot to be taken in Bed Bath & Beyond market share, and we expect to get more than our fair share. We'll have the name, we have the expertise in home.
The database.
Hard to predict the actual number, but we think we'll get more than our fair share.
Okay. And then I guess a good follow-up would be the customer overlap today. You mentioned 20 million active customers at Bed Bath. How many of those have shopped at Overstock, either in the last 12 months or over time? Just trying to think about that customer overlap.
So as part of the process, we were able to do a small sampling. We certainly couldn't access the entire customer base list until we closed the transaction. In our sampling, there was some overlap, but not so much that it deterred us. And I'll also note, even if there was 100% overlap, because the Bed Bath & Beyond customer list is so much larger than us, a significant opportunity. By the way, the even if isn't even close to 100. So we think this is a real chance. And as I noted, the Bed Bath & Beyond demographic a little younger than ours, an area that we've been leaning into with our social media and our brand ambassadors and the app. So we think this is a chance to grow into a younger demographic. As far as a behavioral demographic, and that's really how we focus. And, we've talked about our savvy shopper and our reluctant refresher. There's a lot of overlap in the behavioral demographic. And so I think it will feel very natural to both the Overstock customer and the Bed Bath & Beyond customer to be shopping on the newly launched site. They'll get what they're expecting as far as their behaviors.
Okay, thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Seth.
And our next question.
All right. Hopefully this is the last question. I'd like to start our pre-market prep. Start our show at 9:15 a.m.
Great. Thanks so much. Good morning, guys, and congrats. Two quick ones for us. Apologies if I missed this, but out of the 20 million customers you mentioned currently, how many are loyalty program consumers that are digital only, and what is the app penetration? I think you mentioned it's slower than Overstock. And secondly, I know Bed Bath historically had underinvested in e-com. So are there additional investments that Overstock would need to make, and any way to quantify what marketing could look like in the near term as you go after that customer? Thank you.
So a lot of questions there. I'm not sure I took all the notes on exactly, so if I don't get to all of them, Anna, let me do the best I can in answering that multifaceted one question. I'll start with additional investment. As far as CapEx, our asset-light business model works well here. I don't think there's going to be significant investment required to onboard new supplier partners, etc. There will be some additional advertising investment. As I've mentioned, you can expect us to depart from our financial recipe card for a few quarters, but it's because we don't want to lose this unique opportunity in the window we have to capture these customers. Not going to quantify, hard to quantify. It's something that we will monitor and work looking at the return on ad spend very carefully. App penetration and digital customers. I noted on the prepared remarks that about half of the customer list is either, meaning that they've been a digital customer. So a big group there. And then the app penetration as a percentage of sales is less than Overstock. That's something we've been leaning into and we're good at. I won't comment on what Bed Bath & Beyond's app penetration as a percentage of sales has been, but it's something we think we can improve with our app and our app reskinned and with the way we know how to market our app. So I expect improvements there.
Okay, terrific. That's very helpful. And that's a big size digital omni that you mentioned. How many of those are the loyalty program customers?
Okay, we're going to stop here and get our morning show started. So just to reset our AV here, take a look at this, a little bit about what story trading is, and we'll analyze this Overstock call and talk about the top picks for the day. Here we go.
It's not easy to understand why stocks go up and down, but even in volatile markets, there's always a discoverable and logical reason behind price action. Story trading is a social investing community of investors who share information to uncover the hidden stories behind the trade through the 4 pillars of fundamentals, catalyst, sentiment, and technicals. All price action can be understood through the lens of these pillars, allowing for a holistic view that empowers better decision-making. Only by understanding markets can you beat them. Join our community today and start making sense of markets.
All right, welcome guys to VIP Pre-Market Prep. We're starting 15 minutes late after listening to that Overstock call for the last 45 minutes. So what we do here, as you just saw in that little intro, is take a look at our newsfeed every morning. There's stocks we're familiar with, right? And we take a look at the newsfeed, analyze the catalyst, and interpret that catalyst. What impact does that catalyst have on sentiment and fundamentals? And we try to anticipate technical breakouts. That's a very different process than probably everyone you're seeing out there. Very unique to story trading. It works very well for us. We've had like 2 or 3 killer days here with awesome calls morning after morning. So I try to order this list every morning by what I think could do the best for the day. Right at the top of the list is Overstock. Yesterday we had like Lucid and Netflix at the top of the list, and I still have them near the top. So let's start with Overstock. Listen, my takeaways on this, and I definitely want to hear what you guys think about it. Big takeaways is one thing I don't know, that the Overstock brand, they weren't happy with it, right? That they're no longer a liquidation company. It's been like over 20 years since they've done that. So that was interesting. The other thing, we're confirming they are doing a full rebranding. Overstock will forward to Bed Bath & Beyond. They're totally relaunching the Bed Bath & Beyond business, except without the brick and mortar. That's awesome. That's fascinating. Third thing, they're executing very quickly already right now. If you go to overstock.ca, it'll forward to bedbathandbeyond.ca. That is fascinating, man. You know, BBBYQ is still trading. And now you have a second company, Bed Bath & Beyond. This is going to be really interesting. And one of some of those meme traders will make their way over to Overstock. I think that might be possible. The fourth thing to be aware of is they are, over the next few quarters, making a bigger investment in the company. Margins will be temporarily hit. That could put a little damper on the price action. Now, let's take a look at the price action. This came first on our screen when we broke the 50-week moving average. We broke that 50-week moving average along with a lot of growth stocks. We saw that with RK. We saw it with Carvana when it broke the 50-week moving average. This looks a little bit similar to Carvana. And, Carvana's been, if we have time, we'll look at that chart. But I was already in this yesterday in smaller size, and I added to that position in after hours because I think this news is extremely, extremely significant. So I'm anticipating, this is what we do seriously, we're anticipating the money will come in. We're anticipating the psychology of other investors that this news on Bed Bath & Beyond is very significant and it's going to cause money to come in. So I'm looking at a price target for me at $30, a psychological level of 30. But also look at these candles, these resistances here kept on bouncing off 35 or so. Many times here in early June. So, and that's about a year. That's about a year high. So I'm looking for a price target of 30 to 35. If the fundamentals are good, if other people buy into this, you could see this move to about $42. And this is a relatively highly shorted stock. So Overstock, top of my list today. Lucid, man, Lucid. I really like this. I don't have time to go through all thesis, but things have changed. I think the sentiment has really changed about the fundamentals long term with that deal with Aston Martin. The TAM is bigger. The profit margins are bigger. Interview yesterday in the media basically said what I said the day before when the Aston Martin news came out, of the larger TAM, of the better margins. So I'm looking for the potential of Lucid to make it past the 50 DMA and eventually maybe to 8 to that 200-day moving average of 950. Those are my ultimate targets to the upside. By the way, I just have to say, we get excited on a day like this. Beware of especially gap fills, especially on a stock like Overstock. Do not be surprised. It's possible this thing, let's see, yesterday's high, it might do a gap fill to yesterday's high of 2650. It might do a full gap fill to 2560. We've seen this so often on good news, and it's usually an excellent, incredible buying opportunity to buy those gap fills. But just beware, we could go down before we go up. There's always risk in these trades. Netflix, we entered this yesterday. Man, what was it? Because it bounced off the 20 DMA. So we had two of our four pillars. We bounced off the 20 DMA, and at the same time, an analyst came out, gave it a $500 price target, right? So between those two pillars at game on, and we got into Netflix yesterday, I have a price target of 448. I think it's going to challenge that recent high. It might even break it, might do a cup breakout, but the low-hanging fruit, I think, is a re-challenge of that 448 level. There's a little candle over here at 440. So we'll see. I think another analyst came out this morning. Vegas has told me if we have time, we'll get to her. We'll get to you, Vegas, for 5 minutes. I'm going to finish in 5 minutes. All right. I'll try to. But yeah, apparently another analyst came out. All right. SPCE, sell the news. Okay, that's the play today. Sell the news. 11 a.m. is the live stream starting for this Virgin Galactic launch. It was a significant news catalyst. We got on it initially back here. All right. And then they had the offering, which was not a surprise because it's they're losing money. They're going to do lots of offerings over the next decade if they're still in business, which is a question. But for right now, a sell the news event is going to happen, I believe, on this. But why was it so significant? The first commercial flight, because that's what speaks about revenue and fundamentals, right? Commercial, they're going to start making money every month now, but it's still not enough for them to really turn the corner fundamentally. This is just a play on the headline and the catalyst and the sentiment. Sell the news event on SPCE today. JOBY, man, I feel bad. Like I knew about, we've had this aviation EV stocks on our list for a while, ACHR and LILM. In fact, LILM was the very first stock we talked about when our hedge fund launched on May 1st. The thing was like 50 cents. Look at this. May 1st, right there. It was the low. Oh my gosh. And the low. Wow. The day our hedge fund launched. Unbelievable. Well, we couldn't stick with it. We just didn't have our rules in place to be able to play penny stocks at the time. There were some complications. But in any case, this sector has just taken off. So you see LILM and ACHR has really been moving in sympathy with JOBY. JOBY's the leader. I'd not had JOBY on my watch list. I heard about it a couple weeks ago, but I'm limited to 300 stocks on my watch list. I couldn't make room for it. So JOBY had big news yesterday morning. Unfortunately, I missed that news. This morning, they raised $100 million to get into the, South Korea market. But at least we have ACHR. We're getting a tailwind here on ACHR in a long-term account right near the highs over there. So I wouldn't chase any of these right now, but maybe on pullbacks. People are real excited. What's the next Tesla of the airspace going to be? It's going to be JOBY, ACHR, LILM. That's what's going on there. A big sentiment moves as these things start moving towards commercialization. Some news out of Wallbox, a Costco deal. Their chargers are going to be now across the country, Costco retail and wholesale. I think that could be enough of good news to anticipate a breakout of these levels. So you got the 20 and the 50 DMA, $3.21. I'd like to see this over 322. If you do that, I would like at top of these candles, right? 358, 360. That would be my first target. So 322 and then 360. And maybe it keeps on going, maybe $4, but it really depends on how significant is this. Superficially, it looks very significant that they're going to be selling these chargers. Costco is the first one, it looks like, that Costco is going to be selling. They've decided to partner with Wallbox. Sounds pretty significant. LLAP, this has been our higher conviction trade, lower risk, higher reward kind of play since last Friday because it was bouncing right off the 20 DMA. We have the big event, the big news coming next Wednesday. We're going to find out early Wednesday morning if this $2.4 billion deal gets approved by the ITU, a division of the United Nations. The market cap's only $223 million. If this $2.4 billion deal gets approved, you can imagine where it might go. Right now, I'm playing it for the event anticipation, similar to SPCE, because we don't know what's going to happen Wednesday morning. So I anticipate that this stock can keep on moving up towards that 50-day moving average of now 152. Today's Thursday, so we still got today, tomorrow, and Monday. Markets are closed Tuesday, so we have 3 more days of event anticipation dynamics in LLAP. I continue to hold that. Feel very good about that. NVIDIA getting a bounce. SOUN, that was the AI stock, ticker symbol AI, right? Sympathy play that's starting to move. That, we got that big upgrade from, was it Craig Hallam there? I forgot. It was, forgot who it was, but 620 upgrade. This is a big, gigantic cup and handle forming. It's got to break 497, and then you can make a move to $6 to $8. Oh my gosh, too much stuff to talk about. We got to bring Vegas on. Let's go. I love stocks, Vegas. I love them.
Yeah, well, soon I have to go. You're talking too long, talking too much.
We started late.
I won't be able to go up my watch list. I'm sorry. I'm short for time. The market's
just give me one stock, your top one.
You know what? I have to say, I think my top one is going to be either NVIDIA or, I think NVIDIA or Tesla. I'm going to be bullish on SPY soon. If SPY breaks 437.50, I'm going to go long on SPY.
Okay.
But
NVIDIA,
I do want to tell you,
Tesla, SPY.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I do want to tell you. So there was some news. I'll have to be quick. But JOBY, as you know, the news was yesterday. So I believe I mentioned that. And then also AI was initiated as a perform. And then we also had news today on this IMNM has a they have a merger news as well. So
wow, look at that.
That was big news. And so the stock did pop, ran really high, and so something to watch because the float's not that big. So that one's one to watch. And then I'm sure you saw the news, obviously. I'm hoping you saw the news on the company that is SGTX. They got bought out. They're getting bought out by Lilly, LLY. It's a merger. If the merger pays out, look at that stock. Like, you gotta catch these, right? If the merger pays out, I mean, the stock is up over 641%.
Wow, what a premium.
Yeah, if the merger pays out, they will get 126.56 per share. So I'm just thinking, would someone buy this today and then look to make $100? I don't know. So something to watch. Keep it on watch. Bitcoin doing really well right now. Currently 30,722. So that's looking good as well on Bitcoin. So whenever you see Bitcoin doing really well, definitely keep a watch for continuation in Mara and Riot. And last thing I just want to mention as well is that Snapchat. They confirmed they have 4 million paid subscribers in their first year. So that's phenomenal news. You're seeing some action here on Snapchat. We saw some options flow on Snap the other day, $12 calls for August. So Snapchat's looking great. So, got to pay attention to these news. So I always pay attention, and hopefully the viewers that are listening are paying attention because we get a lot of great content. And very important to even take notes. Doesn't mean go into the trades, jump in. These are not recommendations to buy, but just make notes of the stocks we talk about and do some work, do some research, and then take or follow the stocks, add them on a watch list and see how they're doing. after we mention them and manage accordingly and decide. You'll decide if you take the trade. AMD looks really good here. Looking for AMD for continuation. I want to see AMD head back towards 115, 118, 120. So I'm liking AMD. Apple, like to see it go to 190. And that's pretty much it. So
sounds great.
Look forward
Thanks,
to the day, and hopefully everyone has a good trading day and lock in those profits. Have a great day.
Absolutely. You can follow Vegas at I Love Stocks 1 on Twitter. Have a great day, Vegas. And just want to let everyone know our interview with Rex, we usually do it on Thursdays at 12 p.m. We had to move it. It's going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. The interview is going to be tomorrow at 12 p.m. So we'll see you today at 4 p.m. We do our post-market wrap for VIPs, and we'll see you again 9 a.m. tomorrow for our VIPs. You can sign up at StoryTrading.com/app, and we'll see you at 12 p.m. tomorrow with Rex. Have a great day, everybody. Good luck.